Ever wondered how many cancer myths you believe are actually true? It's a question that's probably crossed your mind at some point, especially given the sheer volume of information and misinformation floating around on the topic of cancer. Welcome to our deep dive into the world of cancer myths. Today we're on a mission to separate fact from fiction, reality from myth. Why? Because understanding the truth about cancer is crucial. When we're misinformed, it can lead to unnecessary fear, anxiety, and even harmful decisions about our health. Cancer is a prevalent health issue. It's a word that can invoke fear and uncertainty, and it's a reality for countless individuals worldwide. In fact, statistics show that nearly 1 in 3 people will be diagnosed with cancer at some point in their lives. But it's not just the disease that's pervasive. So too are the myths surrounding it. From misconceptions about who can get cancer to misunderstandings about how it's treated, these myths can cloud our understanding of the disease. They can create needless worry, or worse, foster a false sense of security. And in a world where knowledge is power, misinformation can be a dangerous thing. That's why it's essential we bust these myths wide open, to bring clarity where there's confusion and truth where there's misunderstanding. Because when we're armed with the right information, we can make informed decisions. We can approach the subject of cancer with a clear mind and a steady heart, rather than a head full of misconceptions. Each myth we debunk brings us one step closer to a better understanding of this complex disease. When we replace fear with facts, we empower ourselves and those around us. We can approach our health with confidence, armed with the knowledge we need to make the best decisions for our well-being. So, are you ready to debunk some common cancer myths? Let's dive in and uncover the truth together. Because when it comes to our health, there's no room for myths or misconceptions. Only facts, only truth, only understanding. Many believe that a cancer diagnosis means a death sentence. But is that true? Let's take a moment to unravel this myth. Yes, cancer is a serious disease, no doubt about it. It's one of the leading causes of death worldwide. But here's the crucial point to understand. It's not always a death sentence. Over the past few decades, we've made tremendous strides in the field of cancer research and treatment. Survival rates for many types of cancer have significantly increased. Thanks to early detection techniques like mammograms and colonoscopies, we can often catch cancer in its nascent stages when it's more manageable. Advancements in treatments have also revolutionized the cancer landscape. From targeted therapies to immunotherapies, we now have an arsenal of tools to combat this disease. So, while a cancer diagnosis can be incredibly scary, remember, it's not a predetermined end. With the right treatment plan and early detection, survival is more than just a possibility. Hence, a cancer diagnosis is not always a death sentence. Another myth that causes unnecessary panic is that cancer is contagious. What's the truth behind this? Let's delve into it. The fear that cancer might spread from person to person like a common cold or flu is widespread but unfounded. This misconception might stem from the fact that certain viruses that can cause cancer, like HPV or hepatitis B and C, are indeed contagious. However, it's crucial to understand that it's the virus that's contagious, not the cancer itself. Cancer is a complex disease that arises from genetic changes or mutations within our own cells. These changes can be triggered by various factors such as aging, exposure to certain chemicals, or even inherited genetic predispositions. But they cannot be passed on from person to person like an infection. These genetic changes are unique to each individual and their cells. So even if you could somehow transplant a cancer cell into another person, it wouldn't survive in the new environment. So no, you can't catch cancer from someone else. Many people think that only smokers get lung cancer. Is this fact or fiction? Well, let's clear the air on this one. It's a common misconception that lung cancer is a smokers-only club. In reality, though smoking is indeed a leading cause, it's not the only ticket to this unwanted ride. Non-smokers, too, can find themselves in this predicament. Exposure to radon gas, for instance, is the second leading cause of lung cancer. This invisible, odorless, naturally occurring radioactive gas seeps into homes unbeknownst to those living in them. Then there's the menace of secondhand smoke, which is no less harmful. It's like being a passive smoker, and it exposes you to the same risks. Moreover, other environmental toxins and pollutants like asbestos can also trigger lung cancer. So, while smoking does increase the risk, it's not the only culprit. Lung cancer does not discriminate. It can affect anyone, smoker or not. As we see, lung cancer is not exclusive to smokers. It's commonly believed that cancer always recurs, but is this a fact? Let's dive into this. The fear of cancer returning looms large in the minds of many. While it's true that cancer can recur, it's not a universal rule. Rather, it's a possibility, not a certainty. The chance of cancer coming back depends on several factors. The type of cancer plays a significant role. Some cancers have higher recurrence rates than others. The stage of cancer at diagnosis is another critical factor. Generally, the earlier the stage, the lower the chances of recurrence. The type of treatment received also influences recurrence. With advanced medical interventions and personalized treatment plans, many people successfully keep cancer at bay for years or even their entire lives. Remember, every individual's journey with cancer is unique. So, while recurrence can happen, it's not a definitive outcome for everyone who's had cancer. So, cancer recurrence is not a certainty. We've debunked several common cancer myths today. Let's summarize. We started off by confronting the myth that cancer is a death sentence. We learned that this is a gross oversimplification. With the advancements in medical science, many forms of cancer are now treatable, and survival rates have significantly increased over the years. Early detection and prompt treatment are key. Next, we tackled the fear that cancer is contagious. We established that cancer is not a communicable disease. It cannot be passed on from person to person through physical contact, shared utensils, or even through the air. It's essential to keep in mind that while some viruses that can lead to cancer are contagious, cancer itself is not. We then moved on to dispel the notion that only smokers get lung cancer. While it's true that smoking significantly increases the risk of lung cancer, non-smokers can also develop this disease. Factors such as exposure to radon gas, secondhand smoke, and certain chemicals can also contribute to lung cancer in non-smokers. Finally, we addressed the belief that cancer always comes back. This is another myth. While it's true that some people may experience a recurrence, many others live their entire lives cancer-free following successful treatment. The risk of recurrence varies depending on the type of cancer and the stage at which it was initially diagnosed. In debunking these common myths, we've highlighted the importance of reliable information in understanding and dealing with cancer. Misinformation and misconceptions can lead to unnecessary fear and anxiety, and may even prevent people from seeking timely medical help. Accurate knowledge about cancer can empower us to make informed decisions about our health. It can help us understand the risks, recognize the signs and symptoms, and seek appropriate medical attention. It can also foster empathy and support for those living with the disease. Remember, knowledge is power, especially when it comes to health. Stay informed, stay healthy.